Good day guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. In my last video tutorial, I talked about how to use basic Excel formula in Excel, where I explain how to use the sum function, maximum function, minimum function, average counter, len, and ABS, and so on and so forth. So in today's video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to calculate age in Excel. To calculate age in Excel, we must have the date of birth of that person. We can calculate the age in Excel with the help of today's function. For this, select the cell which has the date of birth and subtract this date of birth from today's date, which we can get using today's function. This will give us the number of days from the selected date of birth to date, and then divide that by 365 days, which we have in a year, which is the actual number of days in a year. This will give the age of that person to date. Now let us find the step to calculate age in Excel. In Excel, we can calculate the age of a person if we know the person's date of birth and the current date. Alright, which I have here on my screen. Consider the example I have on this table, where we have the current date and the date of birth. Okay, here we can use simple logical formula to find out the age of age by using the below formula, which I'm going to use equal to sign, which I have explained the function of the equal to, which we each enable all the formula function in Excel. So I'm going to use then equal to. So I'm going to deduct the current date of birth, which is in D4. Then I'm going to put minus, then remove, deduct it from the date of birth. Okay, now then I'm going to close the parenthesis, then divide it by 365.25, which gives us a result right here. You can see we have 62 years of age. Likewise here we have just subtracted the current date from the date of birth, then we divide it by 365.25. Why we have the 365.25 is because in order to get an account for a leap year which appears every 4 years, it will not give us the appropriate result because we got an output in decimal places. So in order to round off this value, we can use the round down function, which is normally used to round down the decimal places in Excel. So now let's use the round down function here to calculate the years. Okay, now the round down is used to round down the numbers, and the number digit is used to round down the number to many decimal places. So I'm going to use the round down function right here, which I'm going to press the equal to sign, then type round down, so which is here. Okay, so I'm going to open another parenthesis right here. So then I'm going to pick the current date of birth, then minus the date of birth. Okay, then I'm going to close the parenthesis, then divided by 365.25. okay, then I'm going to apply zero sign, likewise, then close my parenthesis, then enter my equal to sign, which give us the round up value show in the cell right here. Okay, now in the result on my screen, we can see the differences after applying the round down function. We got the exact output of 62. Before that, we got the same age output as well, 62.96. okay, now we will see how to calculate age in Excel by using the built-in function called dated if. Okay, dated if function. Okay, the dated if function is the built-in function in Excel where it returns the difference between the two date values in years, months, and days. In dated if function formula in Excel, we have arguments and parameter to calculate age in Excel. The parameter, just like we have the start date represent the start date where we will enter the test string. We also have the end date which represent the end date where we will enter the test string. Likewise, we also have a unit which also always find the time unit based on the specified test string, just as the years, months, then and dates. Okay, which we have the then we now use a double quote to cap it. Then so we have the y function represent the year output. Then we have the m function which represent the month output. We have the d function which represent the days output. We have also used the md function which represent the month day unit, and we also have the ym function which represent the year month. So then now let's now use the dated function to calculate the year, month, and days using the above test string that I have specified earlier. Now in Microsoft Excel, the Excel dated if is a compatible function where we need to use the formula correctly. Like other functions, the dated if function will not help if we have applied the wrong data, and also it will not show the argument while using the function. In this table right here, okay, on my screen, we will see how to calculate the age using the dated if function. In order to calculate the age of any specified person, we need two things, which is the date of birth, okay, and the current day, which I have also mentioned earlier, so that we can apply the dated if function. Let us consider the above example where we have the staff name, the department, the date of birth, and the current date. And I have also created 3 columns right here. We have the year, the month, likewise the days to get the output. Firstly, we will see how to calculate the age in Excel of staff using the dated if function. The first thing to do here is to click the exact cell. Is to click the exact cell, is the cell G4, which is nothing but the year column. Now let's apply the dated if function in Excel, so which I'm going to apply right here, which is equal to, I'm going to type the dated, so let me use dated if, okay, then open my parentheses, then I'm going to pick the cell D4, which is the current date, then put a comma, then it's okay. I'm going to open the parentheses, so I'm going to put the cell C4, which is date of birth, then I'm going to put a comma right here, then followed by the cell D4, which is current date of birth. So now I'm going to put a comma again, and this here likewise I'm going to put a quote with y, which means that I want to calculate the years now. The years, so I'm going to close the quote, then put close the parentheses, then put my enter key. You can see using the dated if function, we see arrive at the same year, which when we use a round down function method. Now, so you can now see how we have applied the formula in Excel, which is also shown here. We can see the dated if function calculated with the age, which is 62. Now let me now drag it down, so I can also drag here this one down. I can likewise drag here down. You can see different results here. So but here is started, but because of the fact that we have a leap year, yes, so we have to divide it by 365.25. so now let's use the dated if function to calculate the months right here, okay, of the staff. So on which the month exactly he or she was born. Okay, now to find out month of the staff, now follow the step I'm going to use here. So the first thing is that I'm going to pick the cell H4. Okay, I'm going to pick the cell which is nothing but the month column. Now let's apply the dated if function here. So I'm going to put equal to, then I'm going to type dated if, okay, then open my parentheses, then I'm going to pick the cell C4 right here, then put a comma, then cell D4 right here, then put a comma. So now the text string that I'm going to use here, because I want to calculate the month, so I'm going to put the quote here, then YM, which represent the text string for the month, then close the quote, then close my parenthesis, then hit on my enter key. Wow, so you can see that here that the data if function calculated with the difference of months of the staff, that which is 11 months. So I'm going to drag it down here. You can see, so we have 62 years 11 months. You can see right, and so I'm which I've dragged down to get the others staff name. So also we are going to calculate which day the company staff has been born, okay, exactly by using the data if function. Likewise, so I'm going to use data if function like now. Let's apply the data if function in Excel, so which I'm going to use equal to dated, okay, dated if. So open my parentheses, then I'm going to use cell I2, so which I'm going to use so cell C, okay, sorry, cell C4 minus comma, okay, cell C4 comma, then cell D4 comma. So then I'm going to apply the code right here, then which we the MD, which is represented days, then go to close my parentheses, then close my words, and close my code, then close my parentheses, then put on. You can see we have 62 year, 11 month, and 72 days, which this staff are used in the company. So you can see very simple and very easy to use using Excel function. You can see the data if function calculated with the different days of the first staff and the second staff, and so on and so forth. Now in other words, we have be able to calculate the age of all the staff by calculating their age, then the month, and likewise the dates. Please also note that the data if function will not help like other function, because while using the data if function we should use the formula in the correct manner. We cannot copy the data if function right here to another cell, okay, or here Excel will throw a number error. Okay, that is it. So thank you, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel as I'll keep giving you more of the Excel function. Bye and stay blessed.